Last time on Runelords. Today marks the opening of Sandpoint Cathedral and the Swallowtail Festival. Though it is only morning, some of the townsfolk already are involved with serious issues that need to be dealt with. Following a report of vandalism and theft at the cathedral, Hecht Hardwick and I were following the clues on a possible culprit. Meanwhile, Warden Uxio and Ranrua had an interesting discussion at the Rusty Dragon Inn to wrangle a goblin or a pig. On the way into Sandpoint, Bella Kaware defended her friends and defeated some upstart bands before help arrived. Luckily, almost everyone involved was able to walk back to Sandpoint and get ready for the festival. Now, the journey continues.
You guys all greet each other, and we'll say that you probably know each other through reputation, with the exception of Bella. She seems to be the only, like, mystery element, but I will let you do a knowledge local or arcana to get information on Bella, because her mother is a famous sorceress. Hecht chooses not to know. Fair.
That's fine. Oh, so your mom's famous. Okay.
Essentially, you guys find out that, like, Ranrua at least knows, and Zerdan, like, probably, like, offhandedly, if it comes up in conversation, he's like, oh yeah, I've heard of your mom, you know?
Yeah.
For some reason that sounded weird, and I don't know why.
Wow.
It's the internet, and your mom is just kind of the generic, yeah, I get it.
Fits a lot of sentences.
Evan,
We're not gonna introduce that.
Evan is just from town. Like, there's nothing really special about him. Evan may die, and if he does, frankly, nothing of value is lost.
Oh.
Ouch.
Because if you open with that, like, yeah, you know what? Kinda. The arrest has been made. You find out this man named Rudin. He thinks he's an upstart big shot where he's gonna make it big and rich in Magdamar. All he wanted to do was take out a small loan of X number of gold pieces, because I realize there's a meme coming up there.
A small loan of 1,000,000 gold.
A small loan of 1,000,000 gold. There you go. It is still very early morning. It's not even, like, really 9 o'clock yet. You've already kicked this much ass. So, like...
Goddamn.
Yeah, no, you've been having great days. You guys gather up your stuff. You meet at the head of town, and you just kind of politely part ways. Aldern gives you all a big thank you, and personally promises, come see him if you ever need anything, that sort of thing.
I'll keep that in mind.
Now, for the most part... we are just going to get ready for the festival. You are at your various locations. Zerdan and Hecht, you have essentially reported to Father Xantis, excuse me?
Xantis and Sheriff Hemlock.
You've done what you've needed to do. And I guess the first question that I should ask is, they are going to be asking you what your wisdom would be in this kind of situation. Our little... financial boy, whose name I already forgot, Rudin.
Rudin Starfell.
Rudin, yeah, Starfell. What a sick-ass name, isn't it? As soon as you get him to a place of authority, he just breaks down and absolutely, like, begs for mercy. He's like, I promised I was gonna pay you back, and, like, I just wanted to make money, and I wanted to make it big because I know I could do it. And
jeez.
Essentially... they are asking, what do you think is an appropriate punishment? He did vandalize the temple. It wasn't destroying. It was like a crime of a teenager. And he is...
yeah, crime of a teenager.
He is late teens.
Just on that verge of being tried as an adult.
He would be tried as an adult in Sandpoint, but, like, Sheriff Hemlock, he's not dismissing it. He suggests, you know, the typical... like, prison for X number of months, hard labor, that kind of thing.
Ooh.
Xantis is a bit more on the merciful side. He's like, if the boy is willing to work for the temple and do public community service and renounce his ways and, you know, like 6 Hail Marys, that sort of thing, he's a bit more willing to forgive. So I'm gonna ask the players, Zerdan and Hecht, what do you think should happen to him?
Well, Hector's gonna support the father because the father is a merciful person. So why wouldn't you?
I mean, I'm okay with the idea of possibly letting him try to repent and try to get a lighter sentence, but there's also the fact that because of him, one of his buddies got minced.
That's a good point. Sheriff Hemlock nods, and he's like, well, what do you suggest?
So, I'm thinking...
If I
Well-
may, Chief,
Okay.
have him work here at the temple for the next 10 years as a community to the people. And let's say if he doesn't show up and report to Father, then he can go into the brig for however long you want.
Okay, but... Father Santis, I don't suppose you have any means of making sure he's able to keep up with his term? Like, say, I don't know, maybe placing a Gias on him or something like that?
Father Xantis will nod and agree. Oh, yes, that's very wise, young Okur. If Rudin is willing to cool his head tonight in the brig and miss the festival, and if he comes back tomorrow and is willing to go under a Gias for the next... Sheriff Hemlock will nod and say 10 years. This is technically manslaughter. Xantis will agree to that. And he says if Rudin's willing to service the temple for 10 years, because clearly he's devout to Abadar.
Yeah! All about society, am I right?
Yeah, he will absolutely be willing to cast Gias once per week and give him the weekends off, and he can just do his community service then.
Fantastic.
His buddy, however, is not going to have to be put under Gias since Rudin is essentially ringleader. Both Sheriff and Xantis are actually very impressed by that. Hecht, for supporting this, I will consider your actions today lawful good. And
Yay.
Zerdan, I will give you also lawful good because that's a really good solution.
Thank you.
Uxio and Ranrua, you guys have dragged back in the pig into Amiko's
And Uxio
tavern.
is still smirking.
He's being smug about my loss.
Amiko skips forward and gives a polite clap and does that like anime. Oh, good job, you're back. Well, good. Bring it in the back here, tie it up, and she hands you a pail and a paintbrush.
Really? I'm the one getting stuck with painting it? And greasing it, I assume?
She simply smiles. I've already gone through the trouble of setting up a pen. You're the one painting it. And inside are a bunch of smashed grapes with like various... Like, she tried to make it as humane as possible, but it looks like it's just slightly green water.
Well, I suppose it's better. After all, like you said this morning, you always prefer the more extreme option, so I assumed that when I was too drunk to walk home after the festival, well, I would simply have to deal with the fact that tomorrow, after spending the night at your place, I didn't need my coat to cover the marks.
Damn! She's like, you're forward today. And Ranrua.
Oh, by the way, I need to ask real quick. Were the Illuminantes there to hear that?
Oh, okay. You were making that for their benefit. Okay, I get it.
Not just their benefit, but to put the image in their head so that they think that I'm off the market.
Oh, okay. I thought you were openly flirting with her, and I was like, damn, Uxio's being forward.
Nope,
You know
this
what?
was connived.
The Illuminati are... You know what? Yeah, no, that's right, the Illuminantes. That was the first group. The Illuminamis are in there now, and they're not particularly bothered. They're more or less impressed, and they're like, oh, okay, we'll just You see one of the mommies like write in her little notebook, just little quick note. Now, Ranrua, give me a knowledge local. I will say the higher you roll on your local, the better the reputation you have with the mommies. The aunties you're pretty well accepted with, but the mommies, we don't know yet.
14.
Fairly well. The mommies finish their brunch as it is getting to be about 10 o'clock, and you guys need to start prepping for the festival. You are really kind of pulling this off last minute. Amiko will actually recruit Ranrua in the kitchens if she's willing, or if she's even any good at it.
Runrua is amicable to Amiko?
Yeah, I think so. Amiko is really popular in town with essentially the less traditional crowd. The more traditional crowd, which is like the Garletti, I believe, are very traditional.
Gardetti.
Thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
The Scardetti don't particularly like her, and neither do the rest of the Kaijitsus because, you know, she's doing things that women shouldn't do. You know.
Oh, no.
I know, imagine. Ranrua, if you'd be willing to roll another knowledge local, I will... See, that is kind of like the shorthand. That's how good you are at cooking.
11.
Amiko's not but loves that you're willing to help. She's like, oh dear, like, she kind of just steps on your toes a bit, even though you don't really have toes. You're helping. Like, that's how it's kind of working. Uxio, why don't you roll animal handling to see how well you can get this pig under?
Oh, no. That is a class skill for me, but I didn't take it.
Well,
Oh, no. Oh!
Uxio, surprisingly, you're handling this pig very well. On the way back to the tavern, you've kind of hoisted it over your shoulder, and it's just kind of given up. You've fed it, you've given it some water, you've done all the good things that you need to do. This pig is very friendly to you, and it likes the cut of your jib. You managed to paint it about as green as you can, considering what Amiko has given you. It ends up more or less eating all of your paint. You guys essentially prep for the festival. Bella, you meet in the middle of town with Aldern and Evan. You guys meet up, and essentially you're just kind of getting ready. I can't think of too much for you to do. You know what? There is another tavern right up here that you can stop by, and Aldern will treat you to a brunch before the festivities. I will let you roll Arcana just for funsies. You find a coffee, and essentially, I'm going to give you the cooking bonus of it gives you +1 to all your physical skills for the day.
Yay!
Normally it'd be +2, but you're tired. So, it's strong coffee. This is actually a pretty ritzy part of town, too. I believe this one right here is one of the new rebuilt buildings. Aldern actually, he's so impressed with the coffee, in fact, he gives you guys the recipe. And you now have recipe for... What are we going to call this coffee? Morning Knockout sounds good.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, actually, I like that.
It's salty and bitter. Like, the two worst things you could have in coffee. But
it sure wakes you up.
It sure does. And like I said, it gives you +1 to physical skills cooking bonus.
I suppose while Runra is helping with her cooking, she just mutters under her breath, "Smug son of a bitch."
God damn.
Amiko overhears, is like, oh, you're talking about Uxio. She puts the knife under her chin, like, contemplative. It's like, I wouldn't call him smug as much as... boring.
In response to that, he literally just throws the bird at it over his shoulder.
Did you even get a good enough look after the goblin got away?
She's like, goblin? One got away?
Unfortunately.
One got away, the other two died.
She's like, you're not a part of this, Uxio. Like,
I was a part of the action.
He let a goblin get away. She just kind of, like, quietly sulks. And...
Hey, I at least hit it with another one.
That's badass. Anyway, the time passes and it approaches 1 o'clock. Miraculously, you guys manage to pull it off, and you wheel out everything buffet style out into her tavern, and you put some of the best pieces out front to start luring people in. But otherwise, there's like towels and stuff over them to keep them like hot, and there's small fires and stuff going. Just you know, very small embers, just to make sure it's good to go. But she wipes off the sweat of her brow and says, whew, all right, you guys go get going and bring me customers. And before you guys could even go, she just like dashes in front of you and slaps both of you on the rear and just gives you an encouraging pat.
I give her one in return.
This is actually the point where Uxie has to put his foot down. Unfortunately, I cannot be your advertisement. I've already gotten orders to be keeping an eye on things as the festival's going on.
Okay. She looks at Ranrua. She's like, "You're gonna bring me customers, right?"
Did your father need me to do anything for the festival?
Intelligence. Because yes, he has given you a responsibility.
I was occupied with the goblin hunt, so possible forgot. That's a nat one.
Ranrua was like, "No, you just gotta pay me."
Yeah, Ranrua will definitely take the gold.
Atta girl.
I can't remember what your father had in mind.
She actually comments, "I'm surprised you're not actually advertising for the Pixies."
That is also an option.
No,
Then
you already agreed. She pushes you out. She pushes you out into the street.
No, be like, no, you can let Ranrua finish her thought. It's just like, but it's not like they need the advertising.
You know that I'm not actually getting drunk, right?
Oh, I know. So uptight, I could get a diamond out of you.
That said, would you prefer if I spent the night at your place tonight?
She's actually taken aback a little bit. Are you offering, like, is this a business or pleasure thing or a real pleasure thing? She, like, just kind of puts her fingers together.
Whichever you would prefer.
Ooh. Ooh.
Her eyebrows shoot up into her, like, hairline, and she's like, "We'll see where the night goes." She gives you some extra spending money and says, "Don't say I never did nothing for yous." Get yourself something
I never
pretty.
would.
She's kind of like, "Get yourself something pretty."
Oh, the attire that you got for me, he says, holding out his arms and showing off the bare chest and abs, isn't enough?
See what Ranrua recommends.
What? And at that, he actually is going to get going to do his rounds as part of the town guard.
Absolutely.
Which, to be fair, I'm switching back from Bull to Falcon in order for that +4 perception.
Nice. Okay. Rudin has been taken to the brig. Sheriff Hemlock, essentially, once you sort out everything, he advises, "Listen, I know you're deputy today, and I know that it's important for you to fulfill your duty, but today, provided nothing interesting happens, I want you to enjoy yourself. You've done nothing but work since you've got here, and I respect it, but even the best of us need time to relax."
Well, if you insist, Sheriff, I'll try to rest easy.
Good man. Let's head to the town square. I've got a... He sighs. He says, "I've got a speech to give."
Oh boy.
You guys
Gonna be able to handle it? Yep.
Oh, yeah. He goes, "Oh, no, don't worry. It's just... I gotta do what I gotta do."
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Father Xantus is with Hecht right now, and he looks at you and says, "I am proud of the decision that you came to today. Thank you so much for helping us with the issue."
But of course, Father Xantus.
He says, ever since the late unpleasantness, there hasn't been many good things happening for the temple, and I appreciate you coming, and despite your condition," he says, "you've done nothing but help us. I don't understand your path, but I respect whatever you choose to do."
Thank you, Father Xantus. Would you like me to stay here for the festivities?
He says, "No, I want you to... I think it's important for you to go around town and be reminded of what you're trying to protect. I think you need to go out and experience joy. I understand being in the Crusades, you didn't have that opportunity."
But of course, Father Xantus, indeed, I didn't have much time to enjoy this. I was there.
He says, I can't imagine what you've been through, but I can see that today the light is with you, and for that I am grateful." And he says, "No, go out, enjoy, have your fun. Just be back by the time the consecration begins. We will need your help with the altar of Sarenrae."
But of course, I'll be back in time for the ceremony. I will, of course, be willing to do the rituals for the temple. And as she goes to leave, she looks back at her room, contemplates, does she put on any of her arm? Nah, she's just gonna keep on wearing her normal, everyday temple clothes, and that's it.
Alright, you guys head to the center of town. It is approaching noon. Everyone is gathering together, and Kendra stands up on the platform and she raises her hands as the town quietly hushes. And she says, "Today is the day of new beginnings, and I'm sure we would all rather get to the festivities than listen to us ramble. And I'm not going to ramble. Let the festivities begin!" And a cheer goes up from the crowd as Sheriff Hemlock quickly steps up onto the podium before everything, like, disembarks.
Oh, jeez.
Like, he just kind of stumbles up, like, oh god, and he's been caught on his back foot. And he heads to the center of the podium. He whispers something to Kendra in her ear, and she just shrugs and takes a step back.
Okay, I rolled that perception just on the whole, I need to keep an eye on things as part of the town guard. But now I'm wondering if I was able to hear him with that perception.
He goes up to her, and he's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And then she just shrugs, and then he whispers back to her, "Are you okay?" And she does this local custom where she just kind of, like, does a little gun screw to her temple, which is low-key the symbol for the late unpleasantness. And just... And she basically tells him she doesn't like thinking about it. And this day is essentially a remembrance and a moving on point from the late unpleasantness.
Got ya.
Now, only Uxio really caught the hand screw thing, because if anyone else noticed it, they would know what's up. Sheriff Hemlock goes up and he gets on the podium and he quickly tries to calm the crowd real quick before they just run off, because now there's a whole bunch of kids who basically got open permission to go screw around. And
oh no.
He goes, "Please remember to be safe, watch your children, don't overindulge. When the bonfire begins..."
Oh jeez.
He's like, people are gathering themselves back together again, and he goes, "When the bonfire begins, the festival will officially begin to close. Father Xantus, please get up here real quick. And we also have words from the Kaijitsus." And he looks out into the crowd, and he's like, "The Kaijitsus are not here. Fortunately, I received word from Longico that his representative has a speech prepared for us. Come on up. Come on up, Goblin Bane."
Oh, this will be fun to watch. She would be like, she will go up, be like, she'd be like, she will go up to the podium. Okay, so now Ranra needs to actually remember what she needed to say.
That was your nat 1. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have you roll your knowledge local again, but I'm giving you a -2.
Oh boy.
Yes! Nat 1!
Well, this is the way to go.
Well, hey, at least Renrua is consistent.
She goes up. And, you know what? I've got... What does she do? You know Randrua better than I do.
She definitely wouldn't be the kind to stammer on. "People of Sandpoint, you'll have to forgive me. I was out doing my job as the Goblin Bane today, and I had forgotten what Kaijutsu had required of me."
Sheriff Hemlock just, like, rubs his face and says, "Well, I'm certain that the Goblin Bane, your work is very important, and the town thanks you, don't we?" And you get, like, this very... The kids are like, "Yay, Goblin Bane!" though. like
Uxio, I feel like Uxio led the clapping. Everyone else is like, what's going on? He's just like, oh, this is glorious.
Well, I'm actually gonna give like a generous golf clap.
yeah, just like nice job. Yeah, no, you kind of lost reputation with the adults, but the kids just like Goblin Bane. So there you go.
Yeah.
Children are your biggest fans.
You've
The
embarrassed
town will remember that.
you've embarrassed the kaijitsus, which is a big no-no.
And be like, anyway, do check out Sandpoint Glassworks and the Rusty Dragon Inn.
They're like, oh wow, we didn't know we could go to the Glassworks today. Let's see if they have any event.
Oh.
Just to remind you, specifically, he was telling you to not go there today.
Oh, whoops.
The one thing he
know
told
what?
you.
You know what? It makes perfect sense for the natural
one.
0.
The nat 1 with a -2. Yeah, no, this totally checks out. Sheriff Hemlock is like, and Father Xantus has some words. Father Xantus comes up and says, let us all pause for a moment of silence for those who have lost their lives in the cathedral 5 years ago today. And the town gets kind of somber. The mood that Kendra was trying to give, it has just been utterly shattered by all of this, like, stumbling. As Xantus goes up, a moment of silence occurs. He mutters a prayer, and then he has Hecht and the rest of the Alkalites wheel out a big old chest, which you all open, and it releases thousands of swallowtail butterflies, which begins the festival.
This episode is brought to you by the LoadingCrew Patreon, where $5 per month gets you access to all of our uncut streams and monthly lore packets. This episode is brought to you by Nomura the Rogue Jellyfish Plush. Use the coupon code LCCGame for 10% off your total order at loadingcrewcrafts.com.
Kids have immediately bolted off to like their favorite spots. Some of them are hanging around and like clamoring the stage for Goblin Bane, but for the most part, people are kind of off doing their own thing. And we do have a bunch of games prepared. Let's do initiative though, just to make it easy. All right, Uxio, you're up first. Essentially, you said you're going to patrol the town.
And I figure in the process of that, I'm also going to hit up the games that I've mentioned I figure Uxio would want to participate in.
Could you remind me which ones you wanted again?
So, the Lighthouse Smash, along with Wheel Spin, Bell Ring, What's That Smell? And Bow and Arrow.
We're gonna limit it to actually RPing out one particular game. Which one do you think he'd be best at?
Well, obviously I've got to go for What's That Smell so I can cheese it.
So you can cheese it. You wander around for, let's say for an hour or two, and you do find the What's That Smell? And it's being held by probably the seedier part of town. It's the same place that would have the drink the ugly fish juice.
Isn't
The
that
Hagfish Brew?
The Hagfish Brew,
Yes, something
yeah.
like that.
I think
which,
it's this one.
Good,
right
no
here.
thank you for
I think
that.
it's this one right here. You head to the... It's got a very specific name, 33.
I think it's named after the hagfish, isn't it?
It's literally just the Hagfish. It is a very popular tavern. Now, what is nice about this place is they pay out big, provided you could beat their game. But here's the thing. I'm going to give you a knowledge local.
You mean the one that I've got no training in and have to rely on my +0 intelligence?
Yes, sir. Here's the thing. They got a lot of money. So there's a good chance they might actually get robbed. So, like, you know, you being down here is not, like, out of the question. You enter the game. It'll cost you a whole gold piece in order to enter.
Ooh.
But the payout is 10 if you win.
Fair enough. And after hearing the rules, I'm going to discreetly shift from Falcon to Wolf.
The tavern owner, a one-legged man named Jargy Quinn, he says, "We got a new one, boys!" And the whole tavern goes, "Hey!" as they sit you down. It almost like they rehearsed this. They come forward, they put you down, and they're touching you and moving you, but it's clearly not hostile. They have not swiped anything from you. They wrap a kind of a damp and ugly cloth around your eyes.
Have you been using this to wipe the counter?
No, mate. It's for the hagfish. Don't want you to look. We want to keep your eyes closed, and you don't want to have the hagfish juice in your eyes, do you?
No, definitely not.
All right. Now, here's the thing. The hagfish juice, it will completely blind you. There is no cheesing that way. And the juice does run down your face a little bit, and you get a little bit of a whiff. It feels like this might might interfere with your senses a little bit. Oh, wow.
Oh my.
Okay, well, coming up right away, you just know, because you just smelled it a bit ago, they have taken a free slice of pie from Amiko's Tavern, and they brought it in front of you. And that is exactly what you're smelling.
You really thought you could trick me with Amiko's pie? Oh, why did that sound lewd?
Yeah, and at that point, the whole tavern loses it, because that was the joke. Oh, he's too clever for us, boys. This man with his wolf-like senses. Jargy is totally onto you.
I'm not even sure how he would know about it. Like, Amiko I've told about the fact that I've got this ability. Him, I wouldn't have. I don't think I would have interacted with him enough.
You wouldn't have, but Jargy has some experience. He's like, all right, as your prize, boy, you can dive deep into Amiko's pie.
Character, I'm laughing too much to respond.
That was round 1. 2 more rounds to go.
Should I get rid of the bonus, or...?
Nope, you still got it, but some of the hagfish juices has dulled your senses a bit. Your +4 becomes a +3.
Alright.
Not bad.
Okay.
Soft 20.
Soft 20. They put in front of your nose just a regular trout. It is just a regular trout, a little sour to the smell, but essentially, you beat that no problem.
At this point, the next thing you make might cause me to smell my own puke.
They're a little disappointed, and they're like, first pie, then fish? Boy, this boy knows what he's smelling. They all just kind of chuckle at each other. Okay. Here's the final piece. And
down to 2, or...
I will let you do a reflex save to kind of like squinch your face in a way to like make it go a different direction. So it's not directly under your nose.
Is 10 enough?
You know what? It's super obvious that you just kind of shake your head and just it all comes off.
So I'm disqualified?
No. As in the juices that would.
Okay, I was worried you were saying like the blindfold came off.
No, you do not get hindered anymore. So you still are down to a +3 instead of a +4.
Because of the lingering smell.
Lingering smell, exactly. Here's the thing. They basically got like this moldy bread that you're smelling, but some jackass put smelling salts in it.
Oh.
You take.
In other words, I'm getting my shit rocked.
You take 3 non-lethal damage.
That'll wake you up.
Give me a fortitude save. You tank it! Holy shit! You stand up, you shout smelling salts and bread, throw off the rag, just because like, oh my god, that hurts. But like, you are greeted with a small pile of gold coins as the bar cheers for you. Good job.
Hooray! Congratulations!
You got 10 coins.
And like, I'm trying to just clear out Ozen's throat as I accept my winnings. I can't speak because of it.
Before you leave, though, Jaggy, like, puts his arm around you, very friendly, like, or Jargy, sorry, that's his name. He puts his arm around you very friendly, he's like, oh boy, no, come here. I got one more challenge for a tough guy like you. I know you can take it.
If it's the hagfish, I refuse.
Well, hold on, boy. You don't know how much is in there, and you...
Not enough to make it worth it.
You open your eyes, and you do get to see what he's trying to bribe you with, and there is a small mountain of gold coins in there. You're pretty sure you can buy whatever you need for your potential date later in there.
the problem is, I've also, in the few years that Uxio has worked here, I assume that patrolling this area has happened, even though he's usually out in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume he's seen how badly this game can go for others.
I'll let you roll knowledge local.
Oh boy. And this, I'm calling it now, this is where that string of good rolls ends.
Yep.
To be honest, this is the first time you've seen it.
Do you mind if I just roll a flat wisdom to see if he has enough common sense to not fall for it?
I'll let you roll survival at least. He puts down a mug of hagfish juice and like, oh boy, that sounds bad. You think you could probably do it?
Yeah, it does.
You could probably do it, but like the only thing it costs you if you fail is your dignity.
Introvert lives in the woods. How much does his dignity matter to him?
That's up to you. I'm just saying.
Probably enough.
Mhm.
Probably enough that, given that he does have that potential date with Amiko tonight, that he doesn't want to risk smelling of it.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. You successfully beaten the game. You have turned down his offer. They are severely disappointed, but they will
You
not
know what?
press. Yeah.
In order to be friendly about it, I go, well, you've all had your fun with those first 2 cents. Surely you would understand why I wouldn't want to have her experiencing that kind of scent during a date tonight.
Okay, you know what? The whole bar goes, ooh. And they're like, he's getting a second helping of pie.
Nah, there's no guarantee it will go that far, but who knows?
Jargy goes, oh, don't be shy, boy. We know what you're up to. And he, I think this is just gonna be a habit. He escorts you to a different part of the bar. They're willing to give you like basically free beer, as they just kind of like do. I'm gonna call it locker room talk. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean. I will say that when it comes to alcohol, I see Uxio as a festival like this would be his big drinking day, and even then, it would be half a bottle of relatively average wine spaced out across the entire festival.
That's why
I don't see him being a heavy drinker.
You can politely sip. Essentially, you just got invited to the table, though, and they're just asking you a whole bunch of really inappropriate personal questions.
Which is getting him very tired, given the whole introvert aspect, but he's trying to be polite, and also, this is the seedier part of town. His job is to keep track of anything happening, so 2 birds, 1 stone.
That's a good compromise, I think. I like that. Ranrua, what you doing, girl?
I think Ranrua will do the test of strength quickly before heading over to the Pixie's Kiss event.
Okay. We only have enough time to RP one of them.
Yes.
Which one do you want to do? I'm pretty sure Bella also wants to do the test of strength. So if we do that, then you're going to be competing against her.
Let's do the competition.
We'll go here on Tower Street, and there is a typical test of strength. There is a platform with like a teeter-totter, and essentially the meter and the bell and everything. And one guy goes, step right up, or who's going to be the strongest in Sandpoint? Oh, what a prize! Mostly in gold and alcohol. Come right up. And then he spots like Bella, Evan, and Ranrua walking by. You there, sir! He points at Evan. Would you like to test your strength for your dates? And...
Oh, that is like 5 different kinds of amusing right now.
Right, no, I get it. Evan looks and goes, he just kind of...
Yeah, Evan. You want to show off?
Why don't you?
He steps forward. No girl likes a weakling, young man. And he gives them like this oversized mallet. Evan's like, oh boy, yeah, no girl likes a weakling, huh, girls?
Bella is just giving him this amused grin, but her eyes are not smiling.
Is it a death glare for his comments
Fake
earlier?
smile. It's a fake smile.
he reels back and swings down like as hard as he can, and it goes psh, and you hear this little sound effect go wah wah. Oh, how embarrassing for you. Come on, boy, a goblin has more strength than those arms. Speaking of which, I see Goblin Bane over there.
All right.
Goblin
Then
boy,
it's my turn.
Goblin Bane, would you like to show the boy how it's done?
Without issue.
Nat one.
Shut up!
Come on.
Overall 20 is not nice to me today. Or last session.
Survey says.
I imagine a kid just suddenly jumped on her.
Yeah, like some kid grabbed the hammer as she was winding up, so as a result, it messed up her swing.
Watch the hammerhead fly off.
I will actually give you a perception check. Yeah, everyone. Okay, you notice when Rambrua hits it, like she swung really, really hard, and the carnival barker winked at Evan and goes, "Oh, looks like the boyfriend is still the strongest here. Good for you, son." Would anyone else like to show up Goblin Bane? Evan is just like so relieved that he didn't get embarrassed that he's just like, yeah, no, it's really hard. God, like Ranru, I don't blame you. I just like, I'm a lumberjack for a living, and God, if I couldn't do it, the Goblin Bane, you know, like, oof, you know.
She just does that slow turn, staring daggers at him.
Bella, you have a feeling something's up.
Yeah, Bella does have a feeling something's up. I think what Bella will do is she'll step up to the plate and then she'll accidentally step on the paddle to see if it's fixed in place somehow.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no. You can tell there is more resistance there than what the little item that you're lifting. Like, there's a little piece of metal in there that goes up, but what's happening is there's way more resistance. Like, there's something stopping it.
So it is rigged.
It's
Oh,
a carnival game.
Careful
What'd you
there, young
expect?
lady. Here, let me get you an easier mallet to use, as he reaches back and hands you, like, a lighter mallet.
No, Bella's gonna keep the heavier mallet. Bella's just gonna try and brute force this thing.
Oh, God.
And she knows it's rigged, so she's going to cheat a little too.
Fair. Are you using Blood Rage?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's...
Bella's gonna, as the mallet is moving, she's going to turn her blood rage on, really briefly, so it's bright out, so it's going to be probably pretty hard to spot her glowing.
You know what? I'll let it...
Do I break the machine?
the athletics or the climb check, the DC was 15, so, and I let you roll damage for it. So, what you've done is you hit the thing, you hear a crack as, like, the springboard on the other side, fling, up like a trampoline, launches this thing straight up, hits the bell goes straight into the air.
Yeah!
As a member,
that's exactly what I was hoping would happen.
As a member of the town guard, I will say, that could hurt someone. Bella might be in trouble.
It goes straight up into the air, and everyone's like, woo! And, like, the carnival barker goes, oh my goodness, you've broken my device. It seems that, I'm gonna need you to pay for that.
Really? Because I think the machine was already broken.
Listen, kid, like, what you trying to pull here?
I don't know. What were you trying to pull?
This is a carnival.
And she'll
game.
give him that smile, not smile.
He's like, this was a carnival game for kids. He comes back and says, oh, look at the young lady. She's so strong. Oh, my goodness. He comes over and says, here's a prize. And he hands you a little carved bird. And
Ooh.
okay, yes, so some of you know what I'm up to.
I know what you're up to. Bella doesn't.
Bella doesn't though. He says, "Oh,
She's
yeah."
not from here.
That's a surprise for later.
He's like, "Oh,
Stuart,
look at
how
that."
much do the people around them react to the carved bird?
People were laughing their ass off when Bella just showed him up, and then people just kind of got quiet, a little insulted, and started walking off. Like, some of them there who are less bright are just kind of like, and they're kind of laughing about it, but yeah. Ranrua, I think you would know this more than anyone. I will just give it to you. That is definitely one of the carved birds that they don't talk about. Evan, though, he's got no clue.
Okay.
He's like, "Oh, that's a cool bird." And Bella, you can roll knowledge local if you want.
About what I expect.
Yeah, it's a beautiful little bird. Honestly, it looks really cool. And when you, like, put it in your hands, like, there might even be some faint magic in this. Like, it's light, and it doesn't have the texture of wood at all. It feels like smooth marble.
That's interesting.
He's like, "Yeah, beat it, kid. Come on. I gotta fix this fucking thing, and now I gotta... well, taking a short break, ladies and gentlemen. You got a cute little bird, and it's, you're pretty sure there's some faint magic into it, and I'm just gonna give that to you in terms of, like, you kinda know because you grew up with a sorceress. So...
Yeah, Bella will take the bird, admire it for a moment, and then put it in her bag.
Evan's like, "Wow, surprise, surprise," right? And he kind of, like, nudges you on the, like, with his elbow. Says, "Go figure, Bella broke it, right?"
Yes, what a shock. The rigged machine broke.
That was rigged? I mean, yeah, definitely was rigged. Otherwise, I would have broken it myself, right?
No, the paddle had extra weights on the other side, or something like that.
Yeah. He just kind of stands there awkwardly. Ranrua, you can choose to explain this to Bella as you guys walk along and go to the next thing. I guess you're just hanging out with Bella today. Like,
Yeah, it seems so.
do you want to choose to explain it to them? Because you know enough about it.
I think I will.
Okay, so you explain that 5 years ago, there was a serial killer called Chopper who was on the loose and murdering people in town. Within a month's time, he killed something of like 26 people. Like 1 or 2 people a day. It was bananas. The previous sheriff did eventually catch him, and he caught him in the act, gave him like a mortal wound. Like, he mortally wounded him. And as the guy ran off, the rest of the town went and caught up to him. And it turns out that on this island over here, there was a reclusive artist, a wood carver. There's a lot of birds around town that were carved by this guy, and it was a big honor to do it. Now they discovered that he was the serial killer, and after they realized what he was doing, they burned down his house and all that stuff. The guy is now dead, and that is part of the late unpleasantness. The second half of the late unpleasantness was the temple burning down, and that's why they're rebuilding another one.
I see.
Good times.
With that bird in your hand is very clearly a Stuart bird. Evan be like, "Listen, it's a cool bird. Just keep it. Just don't show it around. Who cares?" He just kind of shrugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bella.
I think Runro would simply, just state the facts as is and leave any further interpretation to Bella.
Yeah. I think with that, Bella will shove that into the deepest recess of her bag. Be like, "So he gave me a big FU for a prize. What a shock."
Well, you his machine, but who cares? That guy's a scammer.
Yeah, I don't know what I was expecting.
If anything, that was the most you would have gotten from him.
Probably. Rigged game, the gold was probably just there to attract more people.
While you're passing by, essentially Ranrua is kind of the most famous person in town, so you guys do get the occasional look, the occasional, mixed reputation, some positive, some negative, some...
Out of curiosity, when they went past the hagfish, did they notice Uxio?
He's safely inside the bar, so I would
Alright.
say not. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
You guys head to the Pixie's Kitten. Essentially, the game does not say what the event is. I'm going to politely call it a kissing booth. That is very popular.
It's the behind closed doors kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bella will probably not be going in once she realizes what this is.
Yeah, it'd be like, to which at some point as they get closer to it, it's like, I did not tell you to follow me.
Yeah, but like, you're really cool. So,
Oh, really? She's really cool. She's not too out there for you?
He opens his mouth, like getting his bigotry kind of thrown back in his face, and then he's like, "Oh, 2-for-1 deal," like trying to change the subject. Like, look at the menu. Oh, right, that's the menu. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So he is clearly not sure what to do. So it's up to you guys what you want to do at this point.
She'll respond to him with "It's usually worth it."
He's like, I don't.
I'll leave you to discuss it as she slithers on inside.
Bella, do you have anything else to add to that? Like,
No, Bella's probably, well, she's definitely not going inside, I can tell you that much. So she's probably going to head off. If Evan wants to follow her, he can. If not, she's just gonna go find something else to do.
all right, let's do a D100. Call it high or low. If it's whatever you say it is, like if it's high, as in above 50, then he'll follow you. If it's below 50, or if it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll call it low.
All right. So if it's below 50, he'll just quietly follow you and just think about what he says.
Oh, just
Wow.
barely.
Barely. Like
He thinks about it for a while.
he sure does. You guys walk away from the tavern as you do come to the Lucky Dragon, and you see Amiko along with the pig that you guys caught earlier.
Now looking slightly green because of the painting that Uxio did.
And you notice as you're walking away from the pixie, Evan's like looking back like as if he just lost out on a great deal.
He probably did.
Probably.
I doubt that.
So Ranrua, what I think I'm gonna do with you, because again, this is a public game where we're trying to be like civil. If you just want to earn some money, I can have you roll like your best charisma check,
Yes.
or a
that'll be
ride
fun.
check if you got that.
What is that profession?
Oh, profession. That's right.
Yeah, I'll make the profession.
I can think of another option. She could do a grapple check.
That's a
A
24.
grapple check.
Oh my god.
Ranrua, I've given you perform as a class skill
Yes.
for you. I'm gonna give you a +3 on top of that, and I'm gonna give you 10 gold pieces for every
Alright.
point you've rolled. So you've earned 2,400 today, but you do have to split it with your Kitsune friend because that was the 2-for-1 deal you guys were doing. But
That's fine.
that's a lot of money for a cat house. That's a lot of money.
Hey, you get the right people to pay big.
Yeah, you know what? Knowledge local. Knowledge local. No, I like this.
13.
She and you both notice that, yeah, this is a Scarnetti, and they hate the brothel. They hate the brothel. Like, that is their whole thing, is they are so in the sense of, this is, like, women shouldn't do this. Whoring is, like, immoral and should be, like... If they had their way, not only would this place be shut down, but half the prostitutes would either be arrested or, like, executed. And you guys figured out that not only is the Scarnetti here, but he asked for 2 exotics. So you managed to squeeze from him an extra 100 gold pieces.
Some silence money.
But you agreed to keep quiet. So
Yes.
but
that means having some dirt.
on a Scarnetti. So yeah,
Dirt on the Scarnetti.
Which for Ranrua is really great since she embarrassed the Kaijitsus.
Mm-hmm.
Ranrua, you did notice for a moment Sheriff Hemlock in a different room, like just kind of talking to the head of the pixie.
Like I would have heard his voice at least.
Yeah. It's kind of an open secret that his girlfriend runs the place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's just talking to her. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 All right, so Zerdan and Hecht, would you guys be interested in traveling together today just to kind of like speed things up?
I don't mind.
Or are you interested in different things?
Well, what do you want to do, Hecht?
Well, I just found it strange that all of a sudden he just came up to me and asked that.
Jeez.
I'll say you bump into each other organically enough. You've been walking coincidentally in the same direction like a few times.
Alright, well, there's a few competitions going around about now, and...
Why not that one? I point at the Pie and One event.
Oh boy. I mean, I'll go with you into this competition, but it's probably not gonna be fun at the end.
All right, you guys walk down the road together, just like you just kind of end up together, and you're just like, oh hey, recognize it from earlier, that sort of thing. And Hecht pointed out the pie eating contest, and it was just about to start. And since they recognized two members of what is essentially very important public services, they were going to let you eat and play for free.
Aw, thank you.
She didn't even think about the entrance fee, so yay.
I had some money earlier. I could easily take care of that.
They're like, oh, no, don't worry about that.
Okay.
All
Alright.
So the way this game works is you got to reach 3 different places, eat 3 different pies, and by the end, you'll be declared the winner. So you need
And...
Yep.
Puke.
Yeah,
Oh,
you cannot puke. So you will be running down this road.
Making progressively harder constitution checks.
Then you'll head down
And dex checks.
Festival Street. Then Bishop Street. Then finally, you'll run through Chopper's Alley and stop at Crab Street, right here. I will also mark
Wow.
the 3 pies. There'll be 1 pie here, 1 pie here, and then 1 at the end.
Okay.
So we'll go as in the initiative from earlier, but essentially you'll be taking your speed, heading down, and you'll be using your skills in clever ways to either boost yourself forward or impede others.
Oh boy.
All right, so what we're going to do is you are there with a bunch of other NPCs, which I'll just kind of drop random tokens on the board. You know what? Foxglove is there, along with his new bride. There we go.
Totally.
There we go. That works. So,
Ooh.
on your mark, get set, and race. You guys head down High Street. Zerdan, you technically have 1 initiative.
Okay, so I'm definitely getting ahead, and how's the street looking so far? Just so I have an idea.
It's pretty clear, surprisingly, but I can give you a perception check on that.
Alright, well, survey says... Apparently I see a lot down this street.
You see all things. Not only do you see all things, you can see the one thing that could potentially trip up people behind you. As you dash by, there is a little old lady crossing the street. But you know that this is not an old lady. This is in fact one of the obstacles to stop you. It is actually a very prankstery tiefling in the way. You can see his tail poking out from the back. And he's like, oh, I'm a little old lady. And he's like, young man, can you help me? And then what you gonna do?
At that point, since I know the guys in that, I'm just gonna say, kind of in a race, I'll get back to you in a flash. And at that point, I will try to maneuver accordingly so as not to be hindered by that person. So I guess I'll roll acrobatics then.
That works, yeah.
Well, hot damn.
Oh yeah, you just like, woo! You just cartwheel around him.
Yeah.
But young man, as the old lady like stops you, you reach the first pie in one very impressive bound.
But now the pie.
Now you got to eat the pie. Normally it takes 3 full rounds to eat the pie, but I will let you try something clever to skip rounds.
Ooh. Okay.
While you're thinking of that, Hecht,
All right.
you are running down the road and you see the old lady. What do you do?
Well, I stop and help her across the street.
Ding.
I'm a paladin. What do you expect?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
You know what?
Kinda...
Yeah. Bonus points for roleplay.
So,
especially since
so
you're.
is that going to be a lawful good ding or a neutral good ding?
I'm not giving you a ding for it, but like you're playing in character, and I will reward that later.
Okay.
You stop over and like you take. You
I
take
also
her by
make
the
sure
hand.
none of the other competition people are getting in the way of me trying to get her across.
You what now?
I'm making sure anyone else that's in the competition is not getting in the way of me getting her across.
Yeah, you just straight up just.
Aww.
You give up a turn to escort the old lady across the street. Oh, thank you, young lady. Like.
Oh man, that's just so cool.
Zerdan, have you thought of a clever thing to eat this pie?
I think I got something that at least I'll go down smoother to where I'm not possibly not finishing the pie. So I'll probably come up with some craft alchemy to kind of come up with a sort of like incense sort of thing to make it easier to chow down the pie, and it's less likely for me to possibly upchuck the pie.
I'll let you use craft alchemy on the pie.
Okay, survey says that is just on fire for this competition. Jesus.
You pull out a knife, a fork, and special seasoning, and you dump your seasoning on the pie, and it eliminates a full turn that you need. So you have
Yay.
1 turn after this
Less.
to eat the pie. Yeah.
Okay.
Heck, you help the old lady, and you finally reach your pie. Do you have any special method in order to make this go faster?
I do. It's called eating it.
First bite goes down pretty easy, not gonna lie. So essentially, I will tell you the DC checks to eat pie. It starts at 4, and it goes up by 2 every round you consume pie.
Oh.
Oh, that's gonna get high fast.
Okay, next round goes by. Zerdan, this is your last round. Give me another
Oh.
fortitude. You're good.
Oh.
You can dash off next round.
Yay.
Hecht, you are just eating. You've got 2 rounds left. Give me another fortitude. You're good. I should probably roll for Aldern and his wife. They're good.
Just because they're a couple, I'm gonna ask: are they eating their own pie or are they feeding each other?
You know what? That's way cuter. They absolutely are feeding each other.
Aww.
The thing is, the wife loses a turn because the husband just got a little enthusiastic and just you know where this joke is going.
Yes,
You
we know where it's going.
It all comes back to pie.
You know what? We can blame all these pie jokes on Stuart for starting it during the What's
I
That
did
Smell?
no thing. Oh wait, yeah, no, I totally did. No, you're right. You're right. I totally did.
Oh my god. So how's Heck doing?
Heck, how is she doing? Give me one last one.
No!
Oh no!
Oh.
You got sick, like watching, like her gag.
Oh my goodness gracious, man.
Good night, everybody.
Stream's over. Goodbye.
Stuart has broken himself.
Oh, God.
You lose a turn.
Okay.
Oh my god. Zerdan, you're off. What you doing?
I mean, it's good to keep eyes open on the streets here, obviously, so I am lucky.
God
today,
damn, you are killing it.
Yeah, as far as seeing things, anyway.
People are chucking like streamers and shit at you. Like nothing like violent, just like stuff to impair your vision and get in the way. But you make it to the next pie, no problem. But you had to run so far that that's your whole turn.
Okay.
All right, Hecht, you've got 2 turns. Give me a fortitude. You're good.
Okay.
All right, Zerdan, what you doing? You reached the pie with like lots of time. What you doing, bud? You're unfortunately out of your special seasoning. So
I gotta figure something else out.
Yep.
I guess it can't be helped.
yeah, you could do like some kind of check or like a different skill check or something. That'd be fine.
I mean, there's only so much I could figure here. At this point, I cannot see any like other get-rich-quick scheme here as far as...
All right, your DC, because you kind of cheesed 1 full turn, is only 8 instead of 10.
How bad?
No, you did
You
it.
got pretty good.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, DC's 8, and it'll be 10 next round. But yeah, saving that 1 round is going to continue to contribute through this entire thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right, Hecht, you make it out before the couple does. They're kind of like they're just treating this like foreplay. Like the couple's not even trying to win.
Do I see Zerdan already eating the pie?
You do.
Yes.
I'm gonna be devious for a little bit.
Oh, no.
My.
When I
Devious.
cast,
Wait. Oh my.
when I cast dancing lights and start making lights swirl around him. Have you ever tried to eat while having strobe lights?
Is it that bad? I could have sworn it's just like a slideshow.
It's more like magical twinkling, but like for the sake of creativity, yeah, I'll do it.
I will point
Now,
out,
how bad?
given that Hecht can control how the lights are moving around, she could totally have them strobing while spinning around in front of his face.
Exactly.
Give me a fortitude save, Zerdan. The fortitude DC is literally just 10. If you fail it, you're nauseated.
Okay.
Yes!
No.
Oh no! Alright, you have gotten the nauseated condition, which means you take a -2 on skill checks. Oh, is it sickened, then nauseated? That's silly.
That seems weird to me.
Yeah, that seems backwards.
Like, if you're feeling nauseous, you're not sick yet.
Either way, I'm stuck with the first step of this.
yeah, you're
condition,
stuck
so-
with sickened. You're right. Okay, weird.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, now your DC is 10.
And you got a -2. You're
So
screwed.
basically a straight shot.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
God damn.
18. Like I said, you were screwed, but evidently I was wrong.
Hecht, you waste, well, you didn't waste, but you spent your whole turn sickening Zerdan, so by the time you get here, that's your turn, and then you'll start eating your pie next turn. Zerdan,
Fair enough.
give me a DC 12, I believe? You made it.
Still managing.
You made it?
I'm managing for now.
Oh, yeah.
But what? The next pie.
Yeah, that's the last of that pie, so you're now good to go.
You're still sickened, but you can try a trick to, like, you could spend a turn, try and get rid of the sickened condition.
All right, maybe something to clear the head a bit. So I guess I'll pull out a thing of straight up smelling salts from my alchemy bag and use that to kind of get me straightened out.
Yeah, you could roll alchemy this turn.
All right.
Yep.
But no more smelling salt.
You're out. Yep, you're out of your smelling salts, but you did cure your sickened condition.
Yay.
You
Oh, darn.
You could. Well, you made him give up a turn. All right, Hecht. I believe it's a 10.
I need to start eating.
You got
13.
it. Zerdan,
And the
you're
couple
up.
are lazily making their way up the rear.
Oh yeah, they're.
Oh god, I said the wrong thing!
they're holding hands and like frolicking down the road. Like,
Oh my god.
like
Yeah.
the streamers are coming down and they're just like, oh my goodness, how delightful, that kind of thing.
You know what would be the
Aw.
best thing?
Uh,
Hecht and Zerdan both wound up puking at some point because of how hard they're rushing, and those two win as a result.
That'd be so funny. Oh my god. Zerdan, you're up.
So more looking down the street to try to see if there's anything else, because apparently they just don't want to give me an easy time here, so...
Mm-hmm. You run in this direction, and you can see there is just, like, apples strewn all over Chopper's alley. Just chopped apples everywhere. Like, you'll either need to make a reflex or an acrobatics to get across it.
I'm leaning on acrobatics here.
I will give you a +2 since you did that perception check.
Okay.
You kind of like awkwardly hop, skip, and jump over like just apples everywhere. Like, who would waste this many apples? And then as you get into the middle of the alley, they're just rotten, like not like severely rotten, just like out of date.
You don't want to eat them.
Yeah, you don't want to eat them.
Oh, no.
It's just a pile of apples, and you're like, wow, this is really inappropriate for this part of the street.
I mean, this would be a challenging thing for the last pie.
Yep.
I do have to ask, does the smell get to him?
You know what? Perception first, and you actually want to roll low on this.
Not sure how well Zerdan will do on this, but...
Oh, wow! What the...
Nine!
What the Dude, your rolls are in love with you tonight. Oh my god. Like,
at least for now. I'm just gonna look to that last pie, and it's like...
eye on the
I'm
prize.
here, but I can't eat it.
Hecht, give me another fortitude save. I believe it's 12 now.
Nope.
Nope. That's the turn. Aldern and his bride reach your spot and they're like, oh dear, another apple pie. Oh yes, quite. They're just feeding each other.
You just snorted, and that just somehow made it funnier to me.
Hecht, give me another fortitude.
There we go.
There you go.
Not
to
down.
1. Actually, what did you roll on that one? You know what?
19.
That one's high enough. You just devour the rest of the pie. Zerdan, you hop, skip, and jump, and you reach the pie at the end of the rainbow. And surprise, surprise, here's the thing. All these other pies have been cooked perfectly. They are delicious from top to bottom, and of course, the perfect temperature. This one, however, as you get to it, the whiff of too much cinnamon has hit your nostrils. Just approaching this thing, I need a fortitude save. You made it. Holy shit.
Ooh.
Let me guess, Stuart. 15
Eventually
was the
something's gonna
DC.
So, like, again, if he had failed the DC check, which was pretty hard, he would have been sickened again. But nope, he just powers through it. God damn.
Oh my god, I did not know I was going to be this focused on the competition today.
Zerdan is like, pie contest. Jesus.
Give me that damn pie.
All right,
Okay.
the couple, they, silly them.
Not...
They, silly them. He, I'm trying to think still sexy, but not like, cause I don't, this is not my thing, by the way, so I'm kind of making it up. Like, he's like, oh no, dear, the pie got into your bosom. It's like that kind of thing. Like, heck, you just like, scooch on.
Try to do it, try to do it.
All right, you need to either make a climb check or an acrobatics check, or I will let you do reflex saves.
To get through all these apples?
Correct.
What if I instead use my endurance feat to recall foot marching through the desert?
Oh my god, endurance! That's actually really... You know what? Yeah, you power through. You're gonna reach the pie next turn.
Fantastic.
Nice.
The apple, like, slightly rotten apples mean nothing to you. You smelled death before.
Yes!
Oh man, it's close.
In fact, you know what? You reach the pie, the cinnamon hits your face. Smells like blood. Smells like home. You're good. You're getting... you know what? Give me a will save. See if you get triggered.
Oh no.
It has that familiar potency.
Hecht, you're kind of stunned for a second, but what I will do is because you're kind of shell-shocked, the DC for the fortitude save is way lower because you're not thinking about that at all.
Gotcha.
Okay. Zerdan, your fortitude check is 14.
Oh god, this is gonna get worse from here.
Yep. 12.
Yeah.
Nat
I'm
1, Nat 1, Nat
No.
1, Nat 1.
I think Nat 1 is instant vomit. All right.
Okay.
Hecht, the DC for you, instead of the 16 that it would be, is actually 12 because you're shell shocked.
17.
Nice.
Aldern and what's her name have given up eating pie and they are just straight up making out. They're just
Oh no. I hope someone's on duty to protect the children.
They're like, ew, and the others are like,
Shield their eyes.
like
Yeah, the kids are all ew, and they're running away, screaming and giggling.
yeah, like
The sad thing is, the making out is probably more tame than what they were doing earlier, so the parents are probably sighing in relief.
I would not doubt
Goddamn.
that.
All right, Zerdan, 14.
It just gets worse.
Hecht,
Oh boy.
14. Oh my
17
goodness.
again.
Does
The
Heck
come from
want to turn
behind
this?
win!
Yeah, Heck might steal this at the last minute.
Oh
Yep.
my god. Zerdan, you see Hecht about to finish her pie. Her face is like filled with what you perceive as brutal determination.
Oh man.
14, unless you can think of something clever.
Unfortunately, I just want to go at this straight. Like, I'm not gonna resort to any other cheap shots that might take away from this competition right now.
What I'll do
It
is
isn't
I will bump the DC to 20 if you want to try to like get down to like where she is.
Go big or go home. Stars, help me now.
What? Oh no!
Oh, no.
Oh no!
You know, I'll say this,
Huh?
at least he improved from last time.
Yeah, slight improvement, but not enough.
God, it's like you've had so much pie. You've muscled through so much, but god damn it, that cinnamon is stopping you. It's so much. Hecht, 16.
16.
Oh my god!
Right on it. Right on it.
Hecht, you need to keep it down for one full round. You stand there with your arms in careful contemplation. Zerdan, you can attempt
Not
the
bad.
20.
All right, one more roll.
Oh!
Oh my
Pretty
god!
red.
It's down to one! It's down to one roll! Whoever makes the better fortitude roll, go!
Better fortitude wins.
Oh! Nat 20!
That's a nat.
Hecht! You got a 5?
Come on, man!
Come on, Hecht.
Nah.
Oh,
Top 20.
no!
30-20 though.
That's a
It's
dirty-
literally a photo
first.
finish of eating pie.
Okay, like Hecht, so you are like gracefully eating this thing. Zerdan has resorted to like put corks up his nose and then just horked it down and slammed the fork down along with his other fist and just held it. And as you are chewing, he is swallowed and finished. Holy shit.
Oh,
God damn.
That was crazy. Oh my god. That was
I was
That
not
was-
expecting the pie race to be the most intense event in the festival.
Oh man.
that's like the equivalent of the photo finish.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing. Like, oh my god. Zerdan, you are considered the winner, but the thing is, like, the sponsors of this event were so amazed by, like, your performance. God, I just want to call it a draw, but, like, nah, that's...
Yeah, I'm willing to call it a draw because she definitely had the pie down first. Like,
Zerdan technically wins, and with that, like, you are declared the winner, but you do each earn the coveted pie recipes.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, nice.
So you each got 2 of them. You got apple pie and apple cinnamon pie. If you eat an apple pie, you gain a sugar rush and you gain 5 feet bonus movement per day. If you make apple cinnamon pie, it gives you 1 extra dice roll for fire damage per day.
Give me the apple
Oh,
pie. Give me the
no.
apple pie. Give me the 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 apple pie.
I'll let you have it. Jeez.
So yeah, cinnamon pie
Thank
gives you
you.
one extra d6 in dice rolls for fire damage specifically. The DC to make all the food that you've come across so far is 10, and you need to do a local check in order to craft them. So
Knowledge local. Okay.
yep,
All right, that's easy to get a hold of.
Zerdan won, but they both got a prize. Zerdan also gets a cash prize of 50 gold pieces.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh my god. I was not expecting this turn of events. Alrighty then.
That was so
And-
cool. I'm actually going to end it there because I think that's the highlight of the evening, guys. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.